Rosario, that's me, yeah.
Hello, hello, hello.
Welcome to the show. 773 Songbird Sessions.
Hi, hey. Remember when I said hi earlier? That was fun, huh? I got overly excited. Y'all know how I get. Welcome to the show. Guess what day it is? Guess what day it is? Y'all already know. You see the yellow wall. 773 Songbird Sessions. I am your host for today, JOLIN Rosario. That's me, yes. And as always, I am super duper excited about today. Let me get these announcements out the way real quick because, honey, I am ready to just jump right in and have this conversation. So, first of all, as always, if you're not supposed to be watching this, please don't be watching this because I'm an adult and I say things in adult language, okay? Thank you so much. Shout out to Make Ready Media in Chicago. If you need any type of media assistance for literally anything, like audio, like film, like pictures, like a singer, host, hello, holla at me, holla at them, Make Ready Media in Chicago. If you need a creative space to build, to work in, to not party in because we're in a pandemic, okay? But you can also rent out Logan Square Creative Studio where I get to have my beautiful yellow wall of goodness. I'm so grateful for. As always, lashes are activated, baby. Okay, shout out to Melanie Hunt. Mwah. My favorite. Oh, I almost said you're my favorite friend. I was about to have everybody after me. I was gonna say my favorite coffee deliverer. That's what I was gonna say because she always brings me coffee because she loves me. Uh-oh, I'm in trouble. If you're an artist and you're interested in being on the show, I do have a couple slots left for season 2, which, oh my gosh, that's bananas in itself. So if you're interested, 773songbirdsessions@gmail.com. If you own or operate a business and you want to be on the commercial that we usually have playing, please reach out, 773songbirdsessions@gmail.com, because we have a bunch of financial tiers available for you. This is the last line, guys. Do something today that makes you smile, because what I'm about to do, I'm about to be ecstatic about. So, first of all, look at all these cards. Y'all know that my cute little cue cards, because I'm stuck in the 90s, I always have. These are the most I've ever had with this artist that I have on today. I was going to describe him myself. If you don't know, I do a lot of research when it comes to the people who are on here, and I have been privileged enough to know pretty much everybody. This artist, I didn't know. If I'm gonna be 100,000% with you, I didn't know this artist. So I had to research him. And the fan that he has gained, he doesn't even know, because he doesn't know how I fan, y'all. So let me tell you about RHYANLAMARR, okay? RHYANLAMARR is described as a cross between DJ Khaled-esque curation and Quincy Jones-like craftsmanship. One of my favorite things that I found in his bio said that Lamarr isn't reinventing the wheel with the mix of music or film. He's following in the footsteps of, and there was a list of artists. There was something that I appreciated in the humility of being able to say, I didn't do this by myself, I'm not doing this by myself. People did it before me, and I'm happy to be alongside of them doing it. So with that, with all the excitement in my heart, ladies and gentlemen, RHYANLAMARR. Woo, 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 woo. Hey.
You're talking about me.
I was talking about you. That was you.
I need to bring you on the road.
Okay. Y'all heard it.
And introduce me everywhere.
Happily. I would, okay. Come on. Won't you do it? Didn't I just ask about this? Hello? Ryan, let me go to my cheat. That's what I call these. These are my cheat sheets. First of all, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
This is crazy goodness.
I dressed up for you. I got my hair cut and everything.
I see. Come on, fresh lining. Come on.
AC Breeze. I gotta shout them out. AC Breeze for the lineup.
AC Breeze. Okay. You got a shop? Where's the shop at?
4360 something.
Damn, you got. I was like, you got the address?
I gotta pull up my phone, but it's on airplane mode.
Y'all Google it, yeah, because we can't have no interruptions with this conversation. Ryan, I'm gonna get right into this. First of all, let me put down my paper. I ran out of cards, guys, so I'm gonna put down my paper real quick. I have you as an artist who specializes in film, TV, and music. That's correct. That's kind of broad, no?
Is it though?
Is it not?
Is it?
Let's talk about this. Do you think that we box ourselves when we say more things?
No. I think that they're gonna put you in a box anyway. So I just created my own boxes, my own lanes, boxes, because they're gonna put you in a box. I'd rather tell you what box I'm gonna put myself in.
That's good. I like that.
Because everybody's in a box somewhere. Even if you're like, I'm out the box, but you're out the box with people that are out the box, so it's still a box.
Right. Wow, that's a different type of container.
It's all boxes. So what box you want to be in? So just create your own box. Buy your own house. Drive your own car. Create your own music. Do your own lane. So my own box.
Boom. Because man, this list, these accomplishments in which you have, sir. Okay, we're gonna get to the nitty gritty of things.
Let's do it.
In my research of you, right? As I said, I didn't know who you were. Okay, and I don't apologize for that.
Hey, don't apologize.
I
gained somebody, so that's good.
Exactly, and I talk way too damn much. So you probably gained a whole bunch of other people because I talk too much. Now, right?
So sit, I'm gonna bring you with me. That's what I'm saying.
So you direct and produce movies.
And screenwrite.
And screenwrite.
And EP, which is different than producing.
And what?
Executive produce too, because we finance. That has to do with money and bringing money to the table.
Wow.
And contracts, and sometimes it's not creative, so.
Also, you're an artist.
Well, I am an artist that does film and music and television.
Come on, New Box.
So.
The next project called New Box. What's up?
I mean, look, you got Common right there. He's the same thing. He does everything.
That's true. That's true. So when I watched a few interviews that you've already done, and a little while back you were on Sway, right?
Sway. Shout out to Sway.
Hey, Sway, because
shout out to Sway.
Okay.
And the homies.
And in that, he mentioned how you were homeless for a little while. Now,
in a little while.
Right. So I don't want to retouch on it so much because obviously you've had an interview with it, and I'd like to talk about new, fresh things. But you grew up in the city, and then ended up in LA.
I grew up, for the people from Chicago, I grew up between the south side of Chicago and Des Plaines. Pops lived on the south side, mom lived in Des Plaines, so I got to keep it 100.
Oh, right. And this is exactly what you did then too. This is how I know he's a good dude. Like, he's honest about it, because you can't. I grew up in Des Plaines. No, then you're not from Chicago.
Now, 83rd and Ingleside and Des Plaines, borderline Park Ridge. So.
Wow. And so you end up in LA, right? And you end up living out of a U-Haul truck.
I did, but not when I first got to LA.
So you had a place, you were kind of established?
Oh yeah, then I spent all my money and hung out with the wrong people and made all the wrong decisions. So that's how you end up in a U-Haul van. When I got to LA, I had a great job. I was working with Bernie Mac. So
right.
It wasn't like I got to LA and I had no money. No, I got to LA and got a job the first week I was there. So, so my pride, my big head, and all that other good stuff sidelined me for like a while, almost a decade.
Almost a decade.
Yes.
Yo, and wow, that's a lot to take in.
It is.
And so now, though, the first thing you see when you Google Ryan Lamar is Canal Street. Okay? I remember hearing about it and not like looking into it at all. I recently watched it. First of all, the honesty of what I witnessed, I appreciated. The entanglement that you created with Christian perception, I also appreciate it. So you are a Christian.
I am a Christian.
And
unapologetically.
Okay. That part.
Unapologetically.
That part. Your work and what I'm seeing is, especially with the music. So like talking about these projects, first of all, guys, let me tell y'all, because I was able to research it. So let me tell you guys who don't know, where am I? Boom. All right. I've got produced and directed Canal Street. I've got produced and directed Restored Me. I've got produced 100 Days to Live, which you can stream now.
Yes.
On
everywhere but Netflix.
Everywhere but Netflix. I've got a ton of music from you that you are both on as an MC and on what? On the production
as a writer
of it?
And an executive producer.
And so some of the things are the most recent single that you have, Can't Hold Me Down.
I just featured on that. MRMCHI and J Tor produced that.
Dope.
I just got to be an artist on that. Like I didn't have to do nothing but just write. I did that verse 1.5 years ago too, which was crazy. And then it was like, yo, we're gonna put that song out. And I was like, wait, let me hear it. And it was talking about where I was at then, which was, I mean, being black in America. It's about the struggle, but it's also about elevating. So that's what I liked about that. And so that came out, but MRMCHI, J Tor did that. It features Chris Noel, Chance R, like, they killed it. So I had nothing to do with that other than writing my verse, which I loved. I didn't do the video, which I love. I just got to show up and be an artist, a music artist.
A music, right, because now we got to define which kind of artist you were working in. I've got A Perfect Mess, that project.
Yes, 20 songs.
That, first of all, and it wasn't you by yourself on that. none of the songs has one person. If nobody has heard this project, this is how I found out about you was because of Perfect Mess, because Jack Red, shout out Jack Red, one of my favorite engineers, one of my favorite singers of all time, and a good friend of ours.
We got a single dropping this Friday, but we get into that in a second.
Let me finish your list first, and then we'll add that one.
Go ahead.
So I got A Red Gorilla Christmas, Know Your Name, Relief, The Remedy, and now we got a song dropping Friday. Let's talk about it.
Distance.
Yes,
which everybody can relate to right now.
Okay, and what are you doing on this song?
Singing, rapping. One of the writers, but not the main writer. Actually, Jack Red and his wife, penned 80% of this record.
Nice.
So, and then we reached out to Dayton. Dayton is a dope underground MC, Christian MC, been coming up forever. I mean, look him up, Dayton. It's a special song, but also, I feel like I'm making music now for my age.
How old are you?
Not that my music before wasn't my age. I'm 37. I don't care. I'm 37.
Okay.
Black don't crack.
Know that.
But I feel like I'm making music. I grew up listening to R&B. I grew up listening to vulnerable men.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And now it's you don't really. Drake does it, but I feel like Drake's whining more. Yeah, I said it. Where it was a special song too. Jack and Dayton are married. The song is a part of a 2-part series. And it's dope because it's not a video, it's not a short film, it's just a whole, I don't really know what to call it. It's an experience, that's what we're gonna call it.
That's good.
And we had a men panel. So it was a red table talk for men.
Love it.
And we had married men, divorced men, single, engaged, young, old, 50 years of marriage, 4 months of marriage.
Yeah.
And we all sat around and talked about relationships. And so shout out to Caleb Taylor, who plays the main character. He's the only person who's playing a character in this piece. Everybody else are real people.
It's honest, yeah.
And so we open up talking about, love, marriage, and et cetera. And it all wraps around distance. And first of all, we live in a world that's been distanced for over a year. But we also are talking about, can you go the distance in your marriage and your relationship?
That's good.
So.
That's good.
Drops this Friday.
Yeah, so check it out Friday everywhere?
Everywhere.
And so this is visual or audio?
Everything.
So
all of the above.
Both. So literally everywhere you'll be able to do this. Make sure you follow him on all social media platforms. Ryan Lamar with double R Lamar. Anybody call you that? Because I like that.
No, you're the first one to say that.
You're welcome. I'm an
R.
innovator.
Because that was what was that? Rough Riders, yeah.
Got it. Twitter is the only one that it's the other way. It's Lamar Ryan.
There's a Ryan Lamar on Twitter.
You try to buy him up.
I will when I get some more money.
I want to talk about what this journey is like being, I'm going to dub you a Chicagoan, right? I'm going to say that.
I am a Chicagoan.
Boom.
Don't get it twisted. I said I grew up on the South Side and Des Plaines, not in between.
But there's that. It's the part of, cancel culture these days. You're either one or the other.
You can't. Not if your parents are divorced and your parents literally have 2 places.
And I agree, which is why I dubbed you a Chicagoan.
It's not it's not like that's literally what it is. So y'all can call it what it is.
And that's a Chicagoan.
So I know where I'm from.
Okay, boom. We are the most proud people, I think. Next to Latinos, because Puerto Ricans are the proudest. We just everything, But Chicagoans, I feel as far as the states go, nobody else beats us on pride. Man. No. Anyways, that's not what I was gonna say. My bad, I got distracted. What I was gonna say is I wanted to talk about the idea of how you were in a space of a low point, right? You were in another state. I love the fact that on that interview that I watched, you were like, I had every opportunity to go back home, and I didn't. So you made it very clear it wasn't like, I'm stuck. No, I got to figure it out because I want different or I want more, and I appreciated that. So I just kind of want to have the conversation of what that was like to go from a high point to such a low point to being in a what looks like to me a good space right now.
Great space. Is actually falling below rock bottom was actually the best to date. Is the best experience I've ever had in my life because it's the closest I ever felt to God.
Wow.
When everything is taken away from you, when the Lord strips all that stuff away from you, and you literally just have, it's you and Him, and your demons and your pride and stuff you struggle with.
Yeah.
It's honestly, sometimes I be thinking about the connection I had when I was at my lowest. And so I hold on to that, and it keeps me humble. Because before, I couldn't even get in the door of my head. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So now I'm just like, but you ever see like a real calm, collected person? They've been through some stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You know, people that like don't fold under pressure, they probably used to fold under pressure.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But they've probably been through so much that they just like, that ain't worse than living in a U-Haul van. And first of all, we lived in me and my writing partner, John Knitter, shout out to John Knitter. We lived in a U-Haul van at the end of being homeless. We didn't have the van in the beginning.
Wow.
So sleeping in car washes, you know, McDonald's, Union Station before, because now they don't allow. So I was homeless when you could still sleep in Union Station in LA.
Wow. Just keep going.
It's my assistant. He dropped something.
Silly, don't do that.
Now you can't sleep at Union Station.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Like, so like I've been there washing up with toilet seat covers and like folding them up so they're thick enough to like, I mean, I done lived that way, but I don't regret it. I regret my decisions, but I don't regret actually being in that situation because it is the best thing that could have ever happened to me.
Wow.
Like, so, and I got out. I made it out. I'm good. I'm better than I've ever been in my life. So that was a season that I had to go through. So I could talk to all of y'all.
And it's that moment that I think is so special, right? So like I was explaining earlier how I keep things raw in here. Something your assistant just dropped something and it's like, well, you know, you shouldn't have dropped that. That's fine. Because everybody always sees the final cut and nobody looks at how the process to get there. So when you first went out there, were you so humbly Christian based? Like, were you still Christian then? No. Wow.
And you go to, first of all, you go to Hollywood at like 22, 23 years old. Chicago was cool, it's popping, right? But there was a time in LA, and if you've been to LA and you live there, it's not like that anymore. But me and my crew, because there was a lot of us, we went out to LA. It was like the end of like a golden era. Like trailers everywhere. This is before the writers' strike. People were still shooting on film. They were at TV studios. Like when I got there, I literally was doing a semester in LA at Columbia College. And the first day, so if I rewind, I worked on a movie called Mr. 3000. That was the first movie I ever worked on. And I was only supposed to be on that movie for a couple weeks, and I ended up working on the whole project. That was my freshman into my sophomore year of college. So, like, I had a big head going back to school. Because you know when the teacher's like, so what'd you do over the summer, right? And I'm just like, I'm just waiting.
Ask me, right?
And so, like, I remember at the rap party, Bernie actually took anybody who wanted to go back to the Bernie Mac show that fall. He took them back.
Wow.
And so I was like, well, I'm not going back to school. I'm gonna do that. And he said, no, finish school and then look me up. And I was like, man, that joke ain't talking about nothing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
'Cause I was a freshman going into sophomore year, so I still had another 3 years.
Yeah.
So my senior year of college, 05, semester in LA, went out to LA, CBS Radford, same day. First day of school or whatever, the class is designed to set you up for an internship. And there's these little bungalows that they used to have at Radford. And so first day, it was like bungalows look like these trailers or whatever. Bungalow 11 and Columbia College was like bungalow 17. So I see the Bernie Mac show. I'm like, oh, I had no idea the Bernie Mac show was on the same lot.
Wow.
So I didn't even go to class. I walked into the Bernie Mac bungalow and was like, yo, is Rhonda here? That was the AD at the time. Tell her Ryan's here. And this lady looked at me and I was like, baggy pants. That was 05, right?
Yeah.
So baggy pants. I had this beanie on and it's this black kid. And so she looked at me all weird. And so she went on her walkie and she said, "This is some kid. Ryan's here to see you." I heard her on the walkie say, "Who?" She said, like, Ryan. She said my last name. And so maybe 15 minutes later, here comes Rhonda coming on her little go-kart, and she's like, "What you doing here?" So I told her what I was doing here, and she's like, "Bernie's gonna like be floored when he sees you." So at the studio, there was three. It was a third floor, second floor, and a basement. The basement, that 70s show was being shot there. Second floor was Bernie Mac, and the third floor was Malcolm in the Middle. And so I'd never forget, I was going in to meet Bernie, and like Wilmer Valderrama was like walking his dog or whatever. And I'd never seen celebrities like that before. So I was like, "Oh, it's that dude, whatever." And get on the elevator, and Anthony Anderson and Ashton Kutcher are on the elevator, and I'm just like, "Y'all, this is crazy."
Right.
Anthony Anderson and Ashton Kutcher. And so I go down there, and I mean, long story short, I ended up getting a job that day.
Wow.
And so Columbia wouldn't let me, well, not wouldn't let me. They said that I had to finish the class. And I was like, "But the class is for an internship."
Right. You can intern
And I just
there.
got a job. No, I got a job. I didn't need an intern. I've never interned before. I've never had an internship because I literally
you skipped straight over, right?
went that. And they were like, "Well, you can't," because you, so I left, right? And now I talk and teach at Columbia, which is funny.
Come on, full circle. Won't he do it?
So I ended up doing that. I worked on Bernie for about 2 years. Then I did first season of America's Got Talent, Apprentice season 6. Yes, I worked with our former president, season 6. And then I did a whole bunch of production. So it was not because I had no money. It was because I didn't know how to save my money. I was never really taught, no knock on my parents, but when you are raised from people who live check to check, because of the systemic racism and because of the borders and boundaries and boxes that they put us in, back to those boxes, you can't really teach your kid, "It'll make it 10 grand a week." Like, if you don't know how to save.
Right. That doesn't matter.
So I had no idea to save. You know what I'm saying? Like, and so I was making this money and still couldn't pay my rent because I was blowing it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so like, now I know how to save my money. Now you know what I mean? But I had to go through that, and on my third chance, now I get it. But imagine if you can show a kid how to save money.
Right.
Not no piggy bank, because saving $100 in your bank account is not saving money.
Right.
You know, how to spend and stuff. So like, I'm really big on financial literacy. Like, that is honestly one of our biggest downfalls.
Yeah.
Because nobody teaches us.
Agreed.
Because we can't teach each other, because we don't understand how to actually make our money work for ourselves. So I know that's not what you asked me.
No, listen, I'm here for this. Go ahead.
But that's how all that stuff happened. So when you go back to my pride, it wasn't that my mom, because I remember being on the phone with my mom, and I was like, I never forget, because I had my EBT card, right? And it was like, everybody's got an EBT. If your day's on the 5th and it's the 4th at midnight, and that clock changed, you waiting to go to 7-Eleven or whatever, you can get some food. And so I was waiting for 12:03 to hit, and sometimes it'd be 12:10, depending on
right
how the money set up. And so I was waiting, and my mom was like, I made a joke. I was like, "Mom, I'm homeless," and she was like, "You're not homeless." I was like, "I ain't got no roof. I have no bills. I'm homeless." And she was like, "Don't say that." And then I've always had a sense of humor. So even when I was homeless, I was cracking jokes all the time.
Yeah.
I was like, "I can't believe this is what it is." But she was like, "The Lord told me I can't help you financially. You could come home, but I can't help you because the Lord says I keep getting in the way of what He's trying to do in your life."
Sir.
So, and she told me that, and I wasn't mad at her. I was like, okay. And she told me that in the moment she told me that, because she had been struck fighting with it. And a lot of times, you are enabling people from their blessing because you keep stopping them from progressing. And so she had been fighting with that for over 2-3 years. And so that season when she stopped, it was one of the toughest seasons, but it was one of the biggest breakthroughs of my life. And the next year, I was doing Restored Me. Like literally a year later, I was sitting on set with Malik Yoba and the great Bill Duke and Gary Owen and all these amazing Yancey Arias and these amazing actors. And I was like, me and John, because we've been writing together since college, we was like, damn, bro, we was literally homeless 6 months ago, and now we're on set. Like, And then like we were literally went from Restored Me and then Canal Street.
Yeah.
And you know, it's just like we were on this roller coaster. Like, so sometimes I still feel, cause it hasn't been that long, so sometimes I still feel like 5 years ago I was homeless.
Yeah, exactly.
Like for real, it wasn't that long ago. So I forgot what the question was.
You don't even know I'm emotional today, and just that. Okay, all right, keep it together, JoJo. Your lashes are on. Okay. What I'm. The fact that your mother listened was the thing, and she chose to respectfully obey the word. You get what I'm saying? So hold on, guys, because y'all just gonna have to deal with this breakdown conversation real quick, because talking about the Lord is one of my favorite things to do, first of all. And when I tell you how on time this happened, for those, where am I? Those who don't know, Ryan was actually supposed to be in the beginning of season 1, and things happened that we weren't able to do it.
I overbooked myself.
He's too popular for us. But that was right on time.
I'm gonna keep it real.
Because look at what's happening now. When I tell you that the past 2 weeks, the conversation with a few of my really good friends who we confide and we break down about the Lord with, it has been learning to listen to him and what his voice sounds like, and you complying to what is being said. So the fact that your mom, who is your mother, who is so provider and protector of your beginning of always, is like, baby, come home. Here, I'm gonna send you money. No, you know what? I can't even do that because you're the answer to her prayers. Like, this is beautiful, and I thank you for letting me witness that moment. I've almost apologized, but I'm not gonna apologize because todo en su tiempo. That's why. Everything in its time.
What she said.
everything in his time, really. So
yes,
we're gonna talk about some of the work that you have going on. Oh, my heart. Okay. North of 10. What is North of 10?
North of the 10. Well, I just told you what my story was. So Don Benjamin, which is a really good friend of mine. Shout out to Don Benjamin. Shout out to Leanne V for making it work. He was in Canal Street. And so me and Don linked up, and Don was like, I got this story called North of the 10. It's about a model who falls in love with a princess, ends up getting her pregnant, and then, has to win her back and everything like that. So he told me the story, and I said, okay, that's dope, but I need more, And so I started talking to him and learning about him, and realized that he came out from Minnesota, from Chicago, moved to Minnesota, came out from Minnesota, lived in a house with 5 other dudes. And I mean, if you know Don Benjamin now, very successful, very financially successful and everything like that. But he had the same type of humble beginnings as I did. Because we were in a house with, no kitchen, just a hot plate, no furniture, living on the floor. And, and in my crew, it was filmmakers, dancer, a model, a chef, and a gamer. And now one of our homies went on, I can't say his name, but one of our homies went on to develop levels for Black Ops.
Wow.
But he used to be, sitting there playing his games, saying like, nah, I'm gonna be a game designer, chef and all that. So I said, okay, what if we make your character a part of that house? And so me, Adam Key, John Knitter, my writing team, we put the story together of making it. North of the 10 is Hollywood. So if you're in LA, you get north of the 10 freeways to get to Hollywood. But then the story gets even more developed. Day Storm Power, King Batch, all those cats are the Rat Pack. Literally are the influencers of today, right? Yeah. They're next up. They are up right now. And so I started to learn about their story and how Day Storm was kind of like the godfather of all of these people and kind of put everybody on. And back when the Vine days were going on, and how they actually clicked and started to do all this, and how they went from Vine to Instagram, and how they were low-key millionaires without anybody even knowing it. And I said, okay, that's the story. Yeah. So North of the 10 is literally the story of the influencer. It's said in 2012. It's inspired by all of that.
Yeah.
And it's a coming of age story. It is literally the definition of the influencer. And it's a story with heart. And we're using a little bit of creative license because we're basing it in Chicago. You know, we're shooting in Chicago.
Nice.
And they're trying to get north of the 10 to Hollywood. So we start filming that in May. I'm excited because we were gonna go with another project, but we decided to start light because it's been such a dark year. You know, well, 2020 was such a dark year.
Yeah.
And so we're like, you know what, when you get into film and you're doing these stories, you have to become, especially me being a director, you gotta like really immerse yourself into it. And we have another project that I talked about. It's called Morning Bells. It's the Sean Bell story. If you know who Sean Bell is, Sean Bell was unfortunately murdered by the NYPD in 2006. He was shot the day of his wedding. They unloaded 50 bullets into his car when he was leaving his bachelor party. And so we will be making that movie this year. But we were like, you know what? Let's start with North of the 10.
Yeah.
And then ease our way into the Sean Bell story. And so, you know, shout out to Woody McLean, Mekhi Phifer, who are a part of that project. But yeah, so that's North of the 10. So Autumn Cats is coming to Chicago. It's gonna be an interesting. We're shooting in May. Second week of May we start production. I can say that now.
Yay!
And I'm excited to do a comedy.
Yeah.
Because I love comedy. Chicago was the second city, but it still is home to Second City. You know, and every great comic has come through Chicago.
Yep.
So, yeah. I don't know if that was boring for y'all, but that's North of the 10.
I was interested. Forget y'all. If y'all thought it was boring, I liked it. I'm excited when it comes out. That's going to be a lot of fun. It is. But I'll be on set, so it's fine. I'm going to think it's funny from the background anyway. Look how I'm just speaking things, okay? Another thing we talked about was this 2-part short music series that you're doing.
That's Distance.
That's Distance, right? So that's coming out
March 5th.
On Friday. Plug again. There was something that you said in it that I wanted to talk about, and it was the idea of Christian men being vulnerable in music. So you have these guys on this panel. Were they all different ethnicities? Are they all black guys?
Black, brown, and within the brown, Latin and Indian, which is what you don't see.
Right.
You see black and brown, what you think Latin. So
yeah,
white.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So we had all ethnicities.
So you have these men of different cultures. You have these men of different ages. You have all of them who believe in God.
Not all.
So you have a difference of religious beliefs.
And also, not all are Christians. Some are Catholic, Hindu, atheists.
The idea of how much more often that needs to happen, I feel like you've already, now the mold has been set. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And so I'm really excited about that for you. Yeah,
I'm like, so my calling is not a pastor. Thank God, thank you, Lord. But if it was, then it would be a different type of situation. But my call is not to stand on a soapbox. Soapbox do work. Soapbox, pastors like Mike Todd, Michael Fisher, Bishop Garnes, my partner, the CEO of Red Guerrilla, like that's their calling. One of my callings is uniting people, bringing people together. But it's not my job to force Christianity down your throat. It's my job to just be a living witness. That's it. That's what Distance is. That's what it was for us. And then also, so when you hear Christian music, you think ministry, you think God, you think, I was homeless and look what the Lord did for me, and but I'm just like, me and Jack Red were talking out, and you can even listen to the skit because it was a real phone call.
I was just gonna say that.
And so that's a real conversation I was having, and obviously we recorded it, but I say, but what do like married Christian folks listen to? They're not listening to Kirk Franklin. Right. You know what I mean? They're not listening to CeCe Winans. They probably listening to Chris Brown or something.
Right.
There's no music. When you're making love, I was just like, well, why don't we make music for the married Christian folk? Because you don't also be listening to all that freaky stuff with your, you know what I mean?
The Bible says if you marry, you could be freaky. That's what the
Yes,
Bible says. The
it
Bible
does.
I read, okay?
But
Listen.
but to create some music that'll set the mood, that ain't all about that.
Okay.
You see what I'm
No, I
saying?
see what you said.
So you know.
But
so
I
you,
agree with what Jack Red said on that skit.
But listen to the record and listen to what him and his wife wrote.
Okay, well, we're excited about that. I want to make sure I get through this stuff because you have so much and it's, man, so exciting. What is this invasion tour that you are co-sponsoring?
Shout out to Hazel and the Invasion Tour. They're doing some amazing things. Again, about unity, uniting the kingdom, headlining 1K Few, Miles Minnick, Stephen Malcolm, Bree Smiles, R. Collins, and it's actually the first Christian hip hop tour that's coming out after or during wherever we are in this pandemical phase.
Amid.
I just made that word a pandemical.
Ooh, I like it.
Sounds right though, right?
A pandemical. Mm-hmm.
They go out March 10th, and it's something that we wanted to get involved with Red Gorilla. We're all again about ministries, ministry first, saving people first, and so they're going out in the trenches, and it's going to be a dope tour. Yeah. So Invasion Tour 2021, look that up on Instagram, Facebook of Invasion 2021. They're going to 10 cities all over the country. It's going to be a dope tour.
Oh my goodness, how exciting. Oh my gosh, to be on stage again. Okay.
Right.
There was another thing. So this will be something that people can actually go to. This is going to be.
It's a real tour. It's a real concert.
It is
stage.
time to be with music. Okay, I'm going to have to definitely look that up. We're going somewhere. Where's my husband?
First dates in Atlanta. First dates in Atlanta. And it almost all sold out already, so.
Look.
Well, folks want to get out the house.
I mean, that's fact. That's fact. But if you are promoting as a Christian-based situation and you're already almost sold out, that in itself is
well, shoot. Andy Mineo, if you don't know who Andy Mineo is, look him up. Andy Mineo sold out the House of Blues with Social Club by themselves, and they're Christian hip hop artists. Sold out the House of Blues out here.
Wow.
So.
Wow.
Yeah. Listen, NF, if you don't know NF, he's Christian.
Yep.
He's a CHH artist. So look him up. Look at his numbers. As quiet as it's kept, Christian hip hop artists are actually outdoing secular artists right now.
Isn't that interesting? I was gonna say it's crazy. It's interesting though, the idea of what we define mainstream power to be. Because there's no way, using NF as an example, I am a fan. My brother is a huge fan, and he was the one who put me on some years back.
Does he know he's Christian?
Yeah, my brother's super, super duper love Jesus. Like, super
there we go.
And so with that, the idea of the numbers, you're right, the numbers that NF is able to pull, the people that love him, the people that share him, the amount of times I've seen just scrolling through like Facebook, we'll say, of his stuff being shared, and it's like, you don't hear him he just got 2 songs breakthrough on the radio, but prior to that, like, you don't really know about him unless you know about him, unless you're looking for him, unless you stumble across him, because you can't deny the talent he has. You know what I mean? And it's like, it's just really interesting that everybody wants to be on a label and they want to be seen by mainstream. Like, what is mainstream?
Well, there isn't no mainstream is actually underground to me now, because now folks are more. I mean, what is mainstream nowadays?
Right.
You know, before it was like, okay, radio. Who listens to the radio anymore?
That's true.
I don't.
Yeah.
My radio is Spotify, Apple, Pandora, Tidal, all places you can pick up Distance, March 5th.
Okay. And while you're waiting, all the places you can pick up all the other songs, okay?
Yeah, look us up now, RHYANLAMARR, all across the board.
Ryan with an H.
Music, with an H.
With an H.
If you do without the H, you'll have a gospel singer, Ryan Shaw.
Oh. Do you Google yourself?
No.
Listen, I wasn't coming. I Google myself all the time.
I don't Google. That's why when you said
you.
Canal Street comes up, I was like, oh, I don't want to Google myself because I don't know. You know.
Yeah.
I don't even like social media.
That's good. Social media is. I hate the business part of this. You know what I mean? Like, I just want to talk to people. I just want to sing songs. I just want to,
I just do my posts and get off.
Exactly. Lucky you. I'm gonna get there. Okay, I'm gonna get there. There was one more thing that you had wanted to make sure I talked about, and then there's something that I would just like to talk about. Let us talk about this beautiful, beautiful, beautiful blessing of this multi-million-dollar Slate film deal. Excuse me.
Yes, That does not mean that I have multi-million dollars.
That's not what that means, y'all.
That means that the projects that we are making have multi, and multi just means that you have more than $2 million.
Okay, know that.
But no, we got tired of pitching movies and TV shows to Hollywood and them saying, no, we've been everywhere. And we've talked to whoever you can think of everywhere. And they, you just get tired of them playing the game, and then you see later, that's what they picked up.
Right.
So we got tired of it, and we realized as we were pitching our ideas, but we weren't pitching ourselves and legacy. So we had to switch up and pitch our legacy, like pitch where we wanted to go. Not what we wanted to do this year, this quarter. Look, hey man, this is where we're going to go. Do you want to go with us? We want you to fund the next 10 years of our company, not the next 3 months of it. If you go to Vegas and you have, let's say you have $100, are you going to put $100 on just number 6?
No, you split that up.
Exactly. So then why would I go in and say, give me $100 on one idea? No, give me $20 million and spread it across the table on all our projects.
That's good.
And we got somebody to bet on us and bet on us really big. And so we were able to do something during the pandemic that not a lot of people were able to do. We're independent. We can now fund our own projects, our own identity. We don't have to go play the game or whatever. And so we were able to ink that, and we start on North of the 10, followed by Morning Bells, followed by this dope project called Uprise that we're going to be doing in Memphis. So I'm just excited. It took a while, but I'm excited.
Yeah, and that's incredible and really exciting, and the greatest luck to you and your team with this, because this really needs to happen. When you had told me about it, you said that you were it allows work to be brought back to the city. And that in itself for me is like, okay, yes, Ryan, because coming back to the city and being able to be like, so I'm guessing like crew or staff
Food,
or
lodging, food,
everything, right? Because there's a job for everything when it comes to creative situations.
So that Slate deal, we're going to be pumping that money back into the city of Chicago. So it's like we're going to be bringing work to Chicago. There's tons of stuff being shot in Chicago. But of that, there are very few people that are from Chicago who came back to Chicago to create work for Chicago. There's only a few people. Chance is here. Shout out to Chance, Lena, Larissa Ross,
Ryan Lamar, now on the
Red
list
Gorilla.
because
Yeah, just like, but Cinespace is doing amazing. Cinecares, like their foundations, but they're all about continually bringing money back to the city.
Yeah.
So, though there's tons of projects being shot out here, we're independently financed and homegrown. So.
Shout out Jack Red, he got a song called Homegrown. Shameless plug. Hey friend, I see you, okay?
Yeah, and wait till you hear, since she brought that up, wait till you hear the acoustic version that we're about to drop on that.
Yeah, he don't know who you okay, Ryan, listen, I am an annoying fan because you can't give me dates because then I'm going to be like all over the social media like I'm waiting.
We are going to do it live somewhere.
Man,
I'm gonna say that.
listen, and I'll be the one to introduce it for you. You're welcome. Okay, listen. Woo! It was beautifully a lot to digest this conversation that we've had.
Beautifully a lot, like that.
Thank you. And I am grateful that you came on the Yellow Wall of Goodness. And I get to say this part. It is time for my favorite part of the show, Ryan.
When you kick me out?
No.
When I go to Popeyes?
You can go to Popeyes.
I am after this.
After the show, okay? Listen, understand something. It's time for You Don't Know. You don't know, you don't know, you don't know, you don't know. If you're new to the show, welcome. If you're coming back, welcome back. You Don't Know is the song association game. I'm going to give you a word, and you're going to have 10 seconds to figure out a song with the word in the title or in the song. My lovely timer girl, she's a lot like, the ringside girls.
Timer and coffee.
Time up hair. Okay, listen, she's the one. Okay. I'm going to give you a word. You have 10 seconds. Mel's going to let us know when 10 seconds is up. Currently, Young Vet, who is also my husband, has the title.
Okay.
He has the most.
Well, I'm not. What's the title? Was it?
That's such a good question. I think it was 12.
Okay.
But so let's go for 12.
It's not gonna happen today, but
what?
let's get it. Let's see how.
No,
I
okay.
have a really good friend of mine that plays this, and I'm always losing to this game. Let's go.
Really?
Let's go.
All right, Melly, you ready? Okay, guys, are you ready? Because it's time. Here we go. Your first word is going to be easy. Your first word is wait. Like waiting, W-A-I-T.
Okay. I got 10 seconds on this?
Mm-hmm.
Wait. Waiting on the world to change, John Mayer.
Nice. You're not going to sing it for us?
No.
Okay, your next word is please.
Please don't go.
Nice. Call.
You don't have to call, Usher. Whatever.
Married.
Let's get married, Jagged Hedge.
Date.
Date.
Uh-huh.
Date. 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 Date.
Mm-hmm.
Date. Time.
Date.
I have no idea. I was thinking a whole bunch of love songs, but I couldn't think of date.
Yeah.
Anybody got a date in here?
I don't have a date, but I never have it. I suck at this game. I'm the worst.
I should have did Nutty Professor. Friday night at 8.
That would have counted. I would have counted that. Your word is believe.
Oh, I keep going?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I still believe. RHYANLAMARR.
Nice. Beauty.
Beauty is her name. Drew Hill.
He's late. He's listening to it live. What's happening? Little.
Little? Oh, Little. Little Richard. Little Engine That Could. Little Man. Malcolm Little.
Oh, okay.
There we go.
Oh, all right.
Found it.
Okay. We got 2 more.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Malcolm Little was a real song, by the way. Did I get that?
Yeah. Well, you didn't say time, so you got it.
Okay.
No, yeah, you're good. You got it. Your word is here, as in placement.
Oh, You're Here. The Celine Dion, whatever song. You're here, wherever you are. I'm not singing that song. I'm not hitting those
I knew what you
notes.
were talking about, but I was just waiting for you to do it.
It's not happening.
You're here, that one?
There you
Okay. The Titanic song.
Yes. It is.
Okay. Sometimes.
Sometimes I feel like want to run away, whatever that song is. Yeah, sometimes, yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Mel agreed. She
It
approved.
was on the Coneheads, and he said, yeah. Mm-hmm.
I want to give you one more just because. Your word is remedy.
Oh, The Remedy, RHYANLAMARR.
Make sure you go.
Jonathan McReynolds, Jack Red.
That is one of my favorite songs. Let me just side note with that. And let me also side note that Sometimes is another Jack Red song. Y'all follow my friends. Me and Ryan are friends now. That's what we are. Ryan, you did fantastic on the game, Mr. I Suck at the Game. Everybody who comes on the show, that's what they say.
Yeah, well, okay.
Good
There we
job.
go. But what did I get though?
You got to play the game with me.
How many numbers did I do?
You know what? I should have counted.
Because I think that was over 12.
I don't think so. I think we're at 10.
No.
Want to do 2 more just in case? Are you trying to beat him?
He did all of them. He just missed the one.
He missed 1, but I don't think
So how
we
many
did
is that?
12.
How many did you get?
I see I'm an idiot and I go like this. I just start picking randomly instead of going in order. Because had I gone in order, we would know.
See, I think I beat Young Zet.
Uh-oh. He say he coming for the crown. That's what he said. Ooh, well.
Get the replay back and then post it.
There you go.
Right.
See? There it
We're
is.
gonna make sure you guys share this video. Share the video.
Or somebody in the comments right now so you could say something.
Yeah, anybody in the comments. Was anybody counting? It's okay if not. Make sure to share the video so that we find out, did RHYANLAMARR win the game?
Or I'm just going to have to come back for my title.
Okay, there we go. We're going to have RHYANLAMARR back on the show very, very soon. Thank you so much for coming on today. Be sure to follow him on all social media platforms, RHYANLAMARR.
RHYANLAMARR, Instagram, Facebook, Lamar Ryan, Twitter.
Check out, it's Red Gorilla Entertainment, right?
Red Gorilla Entertainment. Got a lot of special stuff coming that way. And again, March 5th, Distance, a new Red Gorilla experience. Dayton, Jack Red, myself. Yes, this Friday.
Thank you so much for coming on the show. Guys, as always, thank you so much for watching. Be sure to share, subscribe, hit the notification bell, because I want everybody to know about Ryan and about the yellow wall of goodness. Until 2 weeks from now, guys, I love y'all. Do something today that makes you smile. Peace.